This one's gonna be a good one. Hey, 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 it's your girl. It's your girl. It's your girl, Carnessa the Poetess, back to bless you with another video. Yes. What's up, my pineapples? I miss you so much. Your girl is back and better than ever. As you can see by the title, I am giving you another story time, but this time it's worst friend ever. So let's get right into the video. I met this friend that I'm about to talk about at a poetry show, a local poetry show. Actually, Red Ra is the host. You may know Red Ra from some past pillow talks, and if you haven't seen those, please check them out. I will link them in the description box below. But anyway, we were at Red Ra's show, Night of Magic, and I met this girl, and she came up to me. She said that she loved my poetry. It was amazing. She felt it. She connected to it, and she just was amazed. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I took the compliment, and I was like, oh, cool. So time goes on, and I started going to a new church, and she happened to be a member there. So, I would see her and speak, and the more I would see her at the poetry shows and at church, we would speak. And then eventually she invited me to a little get together at her house. The first time she invited me, I didn't go because I'm just funny like that. I'm an outgoing person to an extent. It's hard for me to open up and get really close with people. But yeah, I like to mingle and all that. But like, as far as hanging out and like close proximity, it's only a few people I do that with. That's just how I am. I don't trust a lot of people. And I'm sure you don't either. But anyway, the second time she invited me, I said, you know what? I said to myself, I said,
Carnessa the Poetess. And I said, what?
Now, when you start answering yourself, you know you crazy. But anyway, I said, I'm going to go. So I went. I had so much fun. I will give her. She is so much fun. Like, you ever met somebody that's just like always ready for a good time, that's upbeat, real energetic, bubbly? So I will give her that. She had a great personality, and of course I was drawn to that because, hey, your girl, I feel like I got a good personality too, I'm always ready for the party. Yay, where the tequila at? Hey. So we became fast friends. Now, mind you, I don't normally, the friends that I do have, they just been friends for years. Like, I don't know new friends. Like Drake says, no new friends. But I, for some reason, let her in. So we started hanging out, going places, turning up. And her house was like the party house. Like, everybody would come over there. It was like a group of us, regulars, you would say, that always got together. And so we got really cool, really close. And so while we're hanging out, all getting to know each other, it's some regulars there. And one particular regular stuck out to me, and I was drawn to him. So we started kind of talking, a little flirting here and there, So I knew that they were friends and had been good friends for years. So I kind of just started picking her brain about him, like, hey, what's up with your friend? What's up with your boy? Like, where he be at? Where he go? Like, who he with? Like, what he be doing? What? Girl, what's tea? And immediately she's like, no, you're better than him. He don't know what he doing. He a hoe. He just be out here hoeing around, and he got so many baby mamas, and he don't know what he doing with his life. Like, just really downgrading him. Like, really just going in on him. I'm like, okay, red, that's first red flag, because I'm like, okay, if that's your good friend of many years, why would you, even if you felt like that, why would you express that to me? Like, you're really just getting to know me. So why are you going in on him like that? So I made a mental note of that. I'm like, oh, okay. But everything she was saying went in one ear and out the other, because I was already feeling the dude. Okay. It was like, okay, I wanted some intel from you, but basically I already liked him. So me and him started hanging out without the group, outside of the group. And so we got cool and we started dating. And it was a thing that he told me up front, like he wasn't looking for nothing serious. He wasn't trying to get in a relationship. You know that, you know that F-boy script, you know that F-boy speech. You know, that's like, right, you know, now I know hindsight is 2020. I know that is an alarm for F-boy, F-boy, F. But I didn't heed none of the signs, none of the red flags. I just said, I seen the red flags and I said, yeah, I want to go. Vroom. Full speed ahead. So we started dating. Of course, your girl, I'm a lovey-dovey type of woman, so I fell in love. Of course, he was doing his F-boy thing, true to fashion. And, you know, so once she found out, once I let her know, because for a while we kept it secret, we kept it on the low that we was dating. And I noticed that he was like, don't be telling her all our business. He was pressing me like, don't tell her all our business, keep it between us, da 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 da. But me getting cool with her and her knowing him, one day I decided I'm gonna tell her. So I told her, and I noticed she was like visibly irritated, like,
oh, really? Oh, we on that? Oh, we keeping secrets now? I told you, I warned you about him. Okay, when he break your heart, don't be...
And I'm like, okay, friend. So, okay. So we move forward. We all hanging out. So little things that I started noticing when we would all hang out was like, I would notice like how he looked at her, like checking her out, like on the low, like, and she'd be like wearing something tight or like some leggings or something, because she'd be in her home, so of course she comfortable. But I would see him like looking at her butt, and then certain things he would do and say like towards me, like say if he was affectionate towards me, I would catch her looking like, ugh, you know. But I just chalked it up to them being good friends. Plus, for years I had heard that they messed around, but when I asked both of them on separate occasions, like, hey, especially, matter of fact, when I was asking her about him, I said, hey, have y'all ever messed around? I mean, it's cool and all, I just want to know. Because I just, you know, you just want to know those things, especially when you're like mutual friends. If somebody used to mess with somebody you're going to talk to, you kind of just, you just want to know. She was like,
no, she swore up and down, no, that's my boy for years. I know how he is. I would never mess with him because I know how he is with these women.
And so I asked him, and he was like,
nah, that's just a homie. Like, nah, I'm cool on that.
Anyway, so they denied it. Now, one thing that made me believe them is because me and my friend Red Rye, we've been friends for years, and we've never messed around. We've never, ever, ever, ever messed around. So I was like, okay, well, if me and Red Rye is like that, and me and Red Rye is real close, but I'm like, okay, if me and Red Rye is like that, then maybe they like that. Okay, so I gave them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm just noticing little things. So she, like I said, she's a hostess with the mostest. She always wants stuff at her house. But I started to get the feeling like, yeah, she likes hosting parties and whatnot, but she also likes to like be in control of things. Like, she wants to know where things are headed. Like, she wants to know especially with me and him, she wanted to keep an eye on things. Like, looking back, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why she was so demanding of things being always there, you know. And then when me and him would break off, like we go do our own thing or be at my house, I noticed it was like an issue. It was a little something, you know, when it's just a little something, a little stank, a little underlying stank, like, why she look like that? Why she do that? Why she make that facial expression? You know how we are women. You know how we are. We got our, you know, we are women's intuition. So I'm making these notes. Right? Then along the way, she kept bringing to me like people he was talking to and telling me about this and telling me about that, until I got to the point where I was like, you know what? He already told me he don't want to be in a relationship. So I don't really want you coming to me telling me all this stuff that's like, it's not going to do anything but make me upset. So quit telling me stuff about him. It was almost like she was trying to ruin it. And she was like, I don't even know why you messing with him. You can do way better than him. He ain't this, he ain't that. So I said, okay. Yeah, I just played it cool. So when I got with him, I told him what she was saying. And he was like, wow, really? My friend, that's my best friend of years. Like, he looked visibly hurt. And so I get, of course, he went back and told her he didn't appreciate that. Like, why are you trying to sabotage me and Carnessa? And then he made it known to me that, like, she always acts like that when I bring a girl around. Like, when I start talking to somebody, and he's like, I really like you. I really think you're a great woman, and da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, I just feel like she tries to sabotage things when I bring other women around. And he was like, I don't know what that's about. I'm like, okay. You know, taking it all in. One night we had one of these like infamous parties that she would have. Everybody's getting lit. Lit. Okay? Everybody. So he comes to me and we're talking, and in his like drunk roundabout way, now mind you, I'm lit too, he says to me that, oh, she's like that, she's jealous, and she don't want me and him to be together because they were together before. They had messed around, not being officially together, but just, you know, F buddies. And I was like, huh? Because my mind was in a drunken state, I was like, the next day I was like, did I make that up in my mind, or did he say that? It was like he was admitting to me that they had messed around, and how she's possessive of him and jealous, and she's jealous of me because I'm actually like a good type of woman for him to be with. And it's like she's jealous of that because she wants to be with him and he don't want to be with her like that. But they have been together before, not like a couple together, but together. He admitted that, but I couldn't remember. And then when in our sober state, I brought it up, and he was like,
nah, I didn't say that. Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
So it was kind of like one of them things like, dang, I wish I had a recorder because I could have sworn you said that, but okay. We continued to date, and one day we planned this barbecue, and we were gonna barbecue at her house. So I brought some stuff, she had some stuff, and we're gonna all put it together. And mainly me and her was gonna cook, because she had a man, mind you, she had a man, but that's a whole nother story. She was talking about this romantic evening she had with her boo at Blue Chip Casino Hotel. She got a room, and they were up there turning up and this and that. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, I wasn't doing anything. Why didn't you call me? She was like, oh, well, and named this girl. Well, she was up there with old boy. I said, huh? She said, yeah, I was hanging out with your boy and this other chick he dating. And then she was like, oh, like that, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. And I'm like, it was like she purposely on accident said it because she wanted me to know, because we was doing this whole thing, don't ask, don't tell. I made it clear, I don't ask, don't tell, because we have a understanding. But she accidentally, on purpose, told me that he was hanging out with this other girl, and her dude, they was having a double date.
Wow.
Because I had asked him about this girl in particular, and he
I know she's crazy. She's stalking me. No, I don't like her. She this, she that.
I'm like, oh, really? So y'all all hung out? I'm like, oh, that's what we doing now? We doing double dates? Even though me and her was cool, like, I would never hang out with the dude and her man with another girl. I would never do that, because that's like a code of friendship. Like, why? I don't need to do that. I don't need to hang out with y'all. And over time, I was expressing to her, you know, how much I liked him, I cared about him, and like, it was almost like I was just gonna wait it out, which is totally a bad idea. When somebody tells you what they don't want in the beginning, believe them and run. Run, girl, run. But silly me back in the day, that's how I used to be. But so I'm crying over this dude. I'm telling her everything like friends do, because we're confiding in each other. I'm thinking I have a friend, you know, above anything else, above their friendship or whatever. I'm thinking I got a friend in this girl. I'm really confiding in her, telling her how much I love him. I'm in love. Not just love, but love, deep love. I loved his dirty draws with a Z on it. Draws. So you know I was in love. And just to find out that she was hanging out with another girl and him, it just broke my heart. I'm like, wow, really? So I get my stuff. I started packing up my stuff. And she's like, why you mad? I thought you didn't want to know. I thought you didn't want to know. I'm like, yeah, but extra stuff. But for you to hang out with this girl and him, I'm like, that's messed up.
I told you he wasn't no good. I told you he was going to break your heart. I told you, girl. I told you.
And it was like almost like she took pleasure in telling me that. Like, it was like she was getting something out of seeing my heart break right in front of her. So I started packing up all my I got everything. I took every slice of pineapple. I took every cherry, every salad dressing I brought. I took every chicken. I took every marinade seasoning. I got my and got up out of there because I was mad, furious. Because mind you, over time, as we're progressing and dating, he's telling me more and more he wants something different. It's like, wait, you know, be patient with me. I'm getting there. And then to find out you're still on the same old bull that you've always been on. I'm coming out of the house and he's pulling up and he's like,
hey, what, CC, where you? That's what he called me. CC, what's up? What's good? Where you going? I'm like,
I looked at him and I was just disgusted. I don't even think I said anything. But she was like, oh, yeah, you know, it's a dent. It's a dent. And what they mean by that, it's a dent. It's like, it's an accident. It's a problem. It's an issue. That was their little vernacular. It's a dent. Like, oh, it's an issue. So I'm sure she filled them in. Once I skirted off, I skirted off. I skirted off and got down the street, and I was just crying. I was upset and just emotional. And he called me, and he tried to explain, and he did that, blah, 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 blah. And eventually, he admitted that they had a sexual relationship for years. Not for months, not for days, but for years. And I guess they had an understanding, like when the other one is dating someone, they would bring the other person around each other like it ain't no big deal, because I guess they had an understanding. What he told me was that he didn't want to date her like that, but he just slept with her. He's like, he would never like wife her, but he would just sleep with her. That's how he explained it to me. I don't know what she thought it was, but that's how he explained it to me, as if that made it any better. But he did admit it. It took a while for him to admit it, but he finally did. So when she talked to me, she didn't say nothing. She didn't understand why I was mad. She didn't admit that she had slept with him. Until this day, she has never admitted that they had a sexual relationship through the whole thing. Like while she was with her dude, while he was with me, while he was with other people, they have had a consistent friendship and sexual relationship that whole time. And I was just like, dang, that's messed up. But one thing that I can look back and say is that he told me in the beginning he wasn't ready, and I should have just, because I'm a relationship girl. Like, yeah, I've had my single time. I should have just been honest with myself, because I'm just a relationship trying to girl. Yeah. And I guess what the main thing that I take from it is you have to trust your gut. Trust your intuition is trying to warn you and is trying to guard your heart. Take people as for face value. When he told me he wasn't ready for a relationship, I should have ran right then and there, because I wanted a relationship. So you can't compromise what you want because the person that you like doesn't want the same thing. Like, oh, okay, well, I'll just, get in it and change his heart. I'll love him so hard. I'll love him so deeply that he'll just be the man that I need him to be. No, it don't work like that. You have to go into something presenting what you want. And if that person can't give it to you, bye. Bye. And then the other thing I learned was about friendship. When you feel certain things about someone, believe it and trust your instincts. Just because someone is fun, it is a good time, doesn't mean that you have to divulge everything to them. Some people are just good for that, just to hang out, have a good time, but never go deeper than that. Don't start sharing your deep dark secrets with them. Don't open up to them, because sometimes they're just for a good time. They're just like someone cool to hang out with, and that's it. And that's what I should have seen in her. I shouldn't have put wanting friendship over my common sense. Like, something's wrong here. You're getting red flags. She's not acting right about certain things. The other thing is, my friends have to mirror back to me what I give to them. If I'm giving you my loyalty, my friendship, my trust, my honesty, you have to give that back to me, or we can't be friends. I'm sorry. You got to tell me the truth, good, bad, and ugly, if you're my true friend. So that's what I learned from my worst friend. And you know what? I will see those two today, and I'll speak, and I'll say hi. But I just take it as a lesson learned. I don't hold any grudges. To this day, she has never admitted to me that she slept with him, but that's okay. That's for her to figure out on her own. I don't have any hard feelings. I wish them nothing but the best. I hope you enjoyed this story time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Hey, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. And please remember, be like a pineapple, stand tall, and wear your crown. I love you so much.
About to give you something, what you been wanting. Take me to the head, no chasing, no running.
Like, comment,
Cardinal to the poetess.